Hey everybody, welcome to Invest in Your Health, where we talk about investing in your biggest asset, your health. Our guest today is Dr. Matt Walker, and we're going to talk a little bit to him and learn some tips to keep our pets healthy. I want to thank First Community Bank for giving us the opportunity to talk to you guys today. I've really been looking forward to this. So Dr. Matt was a Kansas State alumni. He did his undergraduate and his veterinary training there. And he's practiced in a lot of different locations. Currently, he's got offices in Batesville and Melbourne, and also practiced in Mountain Home, I believe, for a little bit of time. Yep. Matt, you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. So yeah, we came to Arkansas in '98 and did start in Mountain Home, and fell in love with Arkansas. It was Dr. Presley hired us on, but he took us to the White River and took us to the Buffalo River and took us to the lakes, and it's like I fell in love with it. Being from western Kansas where there's not any water, I was like, this is pretty nice. So we did have a clinic in Melbourne, but we actually shut it down last year. So we closed it down after being there for 14 years, enjoyed it, but it was kind of feeling like we were spread too thin, so now we're just in Batesville.
Your clinic, I know, has had a lot of changes with the virus going on. What all are you doing to help your patient, your patient pets and your clients?
Yeah, so there has been quite a few changes, as you know, everybody's been impacted by it. But we're doing curbside pickup for the animals, which I think the clients really like. It's like they don't have to leave their car; they just pull up and they can text us or call us, and we'll go out and get the dog or cat and bring them in, you know, keeping distance, you know, wearing masks and gloves and all that. But it's worked out pretty well. I kind of think that once the clients, you know, this is all over, some of them are probably still going to want to just like, hey, you know, we're here. Can you just come pick up Fido? Or, you know, so I don't know, but they don't. I think they seem to like it.
Yeah.
So it's worked out real well.
Great, great. So you're still open, still seeing
it? Yeah, and busy. You know, April tends to be busy anyway. This is when things really start to pick up. You know, the fleas and ticks are out, the snakes are out, dogs and cats are getting, you know, they're more active, so things happen, dog fights and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, we've been busy, and it's, you know, it's springtime, so you know how animals are always more active and getting into trouble.
So based on springtime, any recommendations for dog and cats based on this season?
Yeah, so flea and tick medicine for sure. You know, we are one of the leading states for both fleas and ticks. Arkansas is just, you know, blessed with all kinds of parasites. So, you know, and of course heartworm. You know, heartworm's a big one too where we're at. So it's one of those things that everybody needs to keep their animals protected. But this is when we start seeing a lot of, which a lot of people don't think about it, but late April and May is when we see like heat strokes, heat exhaustion, because the animals aren't really acclimated to the hot weather. So it's not really August and July when we see it so much. It's usually like late April and early May. So that's something to watch out for. Of course, I mentioned snakes already. We've already had some snake bites. So kind of need to watch out for those kind of things. Pollen count's extremely high right now, so we're seeing a lot of itchy dogs, a lot of dogs with sneezing, coughing, you know, so that kind of thing. So, you know, there's a lot of really good medicines that, you know, dogs and cats can take for the allergies and stuff. So.
Oh, that's really, those are good things to think about. I guess pets have allergy issues just like humans.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are home more. They have a lot more time with their kids at home and with working from home a lot. Any recommendations with animals and with the owners being at home more?
Yeah, we've noticed that a lot of our clients have taken advantage of this time to spend more time, you know, doing more activities with their dogs. I saw that one of our clients was doing some fun activities with one of her dogs, dressing it up in different costume characters from different movies and putting that on social media, and I think that's great. You know, and I've seen a lot of our neighbors, you know, getting out, walking their dogs more. I know we have. We've taken this opportunity to do that. And you know, I think it's worked out well. Not just, you know, we were talking earlier about family, you know, getting to do more stuff together because everybody's staying home, but you know, the extended family, you know, the pets. So I think the pets are benefiting because people are taking the time to spend more time, quality time with their animals and doing more things. So I think it's, you know, blessing there.
Yeah, well, do you have any tips on training? If you got more time, you're like, well, maybe I can teach my dog to mow the lawn or something like that. Any tips there?
That would be awesome if you could do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure my son would probably like that too. But so yeah, it is perfect time to do more training, and we have seen a lot of people jump out and get some, you know, new family members. You know, get a new puppy, get a new kitten, and you know, they're going to the rescues or shelters, or, you know, just purchasing, you know, a puppy or kitten because they have more time now, and I think it's a good idea. The training part that I guess I could say some of the pitfalls that we see with some of the training is a lack of socialization with animals, you know, not getting exposed to a lot of different people, which right now, you know, can be a little bit tricky with, you know, some of the issues of staying home and stuff. But, you know, if they get that opportunity to get the puppies out and get them socialized, it's really important. Let them meet a lot of different people, all different you know, sizes and ages, and you know, make it so that, you know, animals are going to be warm when they see a stranger. Also, one of the things we've seen, you know, we see a lot of dogs that have separation anxiety. A lot of those dogs that have separation anxiety are the ones that didn't really learn independence early on. So when they're puppies, I try to tell people you need to set aside time for those puppies to be by themselves, where they can learn independence at an early age. We're talking, you know, 2 months, 3 months of age. The puppies that are with their owners 24 hours, 7 days a week, all the time, those are the ones that have a hard time when the owner does leave the house and go to the store and they come back and find the house destroyed. So, you know, it's good to separate the puppy from the owner every now and then. Put them in a safe location for a couple hours a day, just so they can learn that, oh, I'm going to be okay, you know. So
yeah.
That's something else I think a lot of times people don't realize.
Is it true that you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
That is not true. No,
not true.
No.
Oh, so you don't just give up on them because they're old. You can actually teach old dogs.
Yeah. So I'm amazed. We've had some quite a few clients that do rescues, and they'll rescue some of these older dogs, and you'll see this just awesome transformation. The dog that comes in and you know, it may be 8 years old, 9 years old, and you can tell that it's not been worked with. And you'll see some of these owners that just invest so much time, and you'll see that dog months later, maybe even a year later, and it's like it's a different dog. You know, they've, you know, really completely changed, and you know, it's neat when you see that change in a dog that, you know, is maybe timid and scared to being now this kind of extrovert of a dog, you know, where they're very happy, and you know, they worked with them, teach them how to do all the different tricks. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. But it is cool. Yeah, that's one of the, I guess, the nice benefits of our job, is getting to see the neat things like that.
That's cool. The any dietary recommendations for dogs this time of year, especially being at home? Are there any pitfalls or recommendations you have for us?
So a lot of people will want to spoil their dogs or give them things from the table, things that we eat. That's probably not the best thing. Better to stick with dog food. If you're going to give them something from the table, make sure that it's very minimal amounts. Stay away from high fat, greasy things, because those are the things that tend to really cause issues and problems like pancreatitis and GI upset. But the other thing too, I tell people this, is if you've got a dog food that's working, don't change it. I think a lot of times people will think that, you know, dogs and cats need a change for whatever reason. I don't know, they think that, oh, they need a variety, but oftentimes that's when we see problems, is when the animals go with a different food and then, you know, it's didn't sit well with them and they've got some GI issues, whether it be vomiting or diarrhea. So, you know, if the dog is happy with the food they're on and they're doing well, I wouldn't change it. I would stick with, you know, what's working. Also, be careful with treats. I tell everybody, you know, try to buy treats that are going to be made in the United States. Some of the treats that come from other countries, they sometimes aren't going to be regulated as well, and so you really have to be careful. So I've always, and you have to look real careful on the packaging, because it may say distributed in Toledo, Ohio, but it actually might be made in China or something like that. So you have to be careful where it's made. But I try to encourage everybody to buy, you know, treats and food that's made in the U.S.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, that's definitely great tips. Are there any types of table food that you do recommend that we could give, or for sure don't give?
Okay, so yeah, pork products I usually say just don't give, because a lot of dogs, cats too, will not tolerate pork. So bacon, ham, sausage, I wouldn't even do it. Just avoid it altogether. Of course, there's a lot of toxic things out there. Chocolate, I think most people are aware of, and onions and garlic are bad for dogs too. Grapes and raisins, you know, those are some of the ones you got to stay clear of. But you know, if you're eating a little piece of toast, most dogs are going to be okay with a little piece of bread. You know, small amounts of you know, like popcorn. You know, we've got a dog that just loves popcorn, and we'll give him a couple pieces of popcorn. Usually, that's not going to be a big issue with most dogs. You know, those crackers and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the main thing is greasy and fatty stuff, stay away from. And then also raw food. Sometimes people think that it's good to give dogs raw meat, and we've had a lot of dogs get sick from raw meat. So I think you know, you still have to make sure that the foods are processed, cooked well, and make sure they're safe for the dogs and cats.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. This has been a lot of fun. Definitely learned a lot of good things that we can all remember, especially on what happens this time of year to animals, and also how to feed them and what not to feed them, I think, are big things for us to remember on animals' health. As far as future guests, we're going to be talking about spiritual health coming up. We're going to be talking about heart health, reproductive health. We have a lot of other specialties that we're going to talk about how to improve health in those areas. And I want to thank everybody for joining us again. And thank you, Dr. Matt.
Sure, thank you.
Joining us on this. And thank you guys for spending time investing in your health. So have a great day.